Guys, 5 minutes earlier than predicted, we have Muad Dib on the air with us now. How you doing, Muad? And welcome to tnsradio.com.
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolute pleasure. We've got a bit of crackly line happening here for some reason. Hold on. Okay. So anyways, I'm saying welcome to the show. Muad, talk us through who you are, what you're about, where you came from, and give us an understanding of your thoughts, and then we can move on from there.
Yeah, where do I start? That's a very difficult question to answer, especially having it just sprung on me like that. I don't normally talk about my personal life and background, only about my public life. I started really with making the film 7/7 Ripple Effect, and I don't know if your listeners have seen the film, but I analysed all the information. I and some friends analysed all the available information on the 7th of July 2005 London bombings, and found that the government story was a pack of lies, basically. It didn't add up. There's so many contradictions, so many impossibilities in it, and so to go back before that, on the day of 9/11, when I saw the buildings get hit, I knew immediately that it wasn't the aeroplanes that brought down the buildings. It was obvious that they were brought down by controlled demolition. So it had to be an inside job. And all of the information that we found after 9/11 just confirmed what I already knew that morning. And of course I added other bits and pieces to the story. But then when 7/7 happened, a friend of mine in London phoned me up and asked me if I knew what was happening in London, and I said no, what's going on. So he said there had been some bombings, some explosions, and that it was all over the news, and to turn on the TV, which I did. And then I flipped through all the channels all that day, finding all the different reports from different people, because each news broadcaster has a different team in a different location, and they all have little tidbits that the others don't have. So you've got to really see all of it in order to be able to get the whole truth, and you have to do it on the day, because the first broadcasts are usually the right ones, because they come out before the government or anybody has any chance to start censoring information, and then of course denying things and trying to change things. So you have to get all the information on the day in the first reports, which we did, and then followed it up for 2 years, looking at all the available information. And I think it was around about September time, somebody sent me a link to a film made by Dave von Kleist of the Power Hour, which is an independent TV station in America, a film called 9/11 Ripple Effect. And I was so impressed with the film, because unlike other films I'd seen, there was no hype, there was no emotion, and it was just telling the story, showing the anomalies in the official story, and they had experts from all different fields of expertise giving their opinions, and basically proving that 9/11 was an inside job, and that the buildings were brought down using nanothermite. And I really liked the film, and so I asked my friends if anybody had made a film about 7/7. This was in 2007, of course, so it was more than 2 years after the actual bombings. And they said, well, there's a couple of films out there, and they told me what they were. One of them was Mind the Gap, and the other one was Ludicrous Diversion. And they're both good films. But they didn't get to the heart of the matter. They just showed some of the anomalies, some of which we found, plus we found others. But they didn't put it together in a way that people could understand what really happened. They were just sort of questioning the government official story, but not giving any kind of an idea of what really did happen that day. So I decided that I'd make a film. And so anyway, I wrote the script, and my friends who are good with computers managed to find the newspaper articles and video footage and stuff off the internet, and they put the visuals to my narration, and then I did another edit and said, well, this needs adjusting, this needs moving, this needs taking out, this needs putting in on the video side. And I wanted to get it finished and uploaded on the 5th of November of 2007. Particularly that day, as most of your listeners, if they're British, will understand why I would choose the 5th of November. And so anyway, we managed to get it done in time and uploaded it onto the internet on the 5th of November 2007. And it became pretty much a smash hit. It was on YouTube, on Google. It was rated as #1 video on Google Spain for a number of months. I had people contact me from all over the world thanking me for having made the film, including people from the UK who said that I'd opened their eyes. They didn't realise how evil the government was until they saw the film and realised that it was, as most people do, realise that it was the truth. Most people who have an open mind and watch the film can see that that's what really did happen. Mm-hmm. And I had people from Spain, Germany, Italy and Norway ask me for permission to translate it into their languages so that their peoples could see it and understand it, and I gave them permission to do so. And it became so popular that I think it frightened the government, because they know that anybody watching it is going to know that that's what happened. And so they had to try and do something to discredit the film and me. And this is my opinion. I can't prove it, but I'm of the opinion that that's why they arrested 3 friends of the alleged bombers and put them on trial for doing hostile reconnaissance, desperately trying to convict these 3 young men of helping the others so that they could say, look, these 3 are guilty, so by extension the other 4 must be guilty, and my film was wrong. And anyway, I found out from the internet, through the media, that they weren't getting a fair crack of the whip, they weren't getting a fair hearing, because the judge who was in charge of their trial at Kingston, injustice really gross, who has since been promoted, because he was the go-to person for the government. He was their judge that would always give them what they wanted and play ball.
Well, that's obviously the wee slap in the back then that the deal was designed for. Yeah. Even though he didn't manage to succeed in getting them convicted, but during jury selection, where they have between 25 and 40 people turn up, and out of them the judge will select 12 people to be on the jury. And during jury selection, the judge told the prospective jury members, of course you, and this is a quote from the newspaper, of course you know that Mohammed Siddiqui Khan
Shehzad Tanweer, Jermaine Lindsay and Hasib Hussain carried out these attacks. And that's outrageous, because we are supposed to, in the UK, have the presumption of innocence. And the